the matter of eating insects. Insects feed on rotten dead bodies and contain bacteria. There's risks of eating these types of insects, of course. The issue of eating insects need to go deeper. It is a fraud, just like the issue of synthetic laboratory meat, argued the naturopath nutritionist Marius Dimopoulos, doctor, focusing on an interview on the radio, show of interest of journalists. Both have a common source of climate change. They argue that animal husbandry creates a greenhouse gas problem, and raising animals that increase harms the environment. So the solution are two: insectivory and synthetic meat, he said. In other words, eating insects instead of meat and eating synthetic meat is what the World Economic Forum and the New World Order is telling us to do, to replace cattle and real meat. Now, why make a nutritional imperialism and force people to eat something else? If you search the internet for the word insectivory, you will see accolades. However, no studies are mentioned anywhere that establish that insects have the same ability to cause allergic reactions such as shellfish, he underlined. Because you cannot digest, the human body cannot digest the outer shell of insects, and it could, of course, because of the fact that they have so much bacteria, you can have a very bad parasitic infection, bacterial infection, and allergic reactions. He said they also contain bacteria because many insects feed on decaying matter. Insects have been found to carry parasites that are harmful and even deadly to humans. Another thing, they do not say that insects contain anti-inflammatory ingredients which prevent the absorption of nutrients. All this has been done with synthetic meat, and insectivity is combined with demonization of conventional meat. The ground has also been paved by herbivores and vegans so that people consider that red meat, for example, is unhealthy. So let's go to other alternative sources of protein, he concludes. Now, I've listened to the 15-minute interview that he had, and also he claims that the use of synthetic lab meat is dangerous because of the fact, first of all, that you use a lot more energy to create that. The second thing is that animals have their antibody system is able to fight off bacteria and infections, which the lab-grown meat cannot do. The lab-grown meat is made from stem cells of animals, but the stem cells do not have the ability to fight infections in the body as the actual animal does. So this synthetic lab-grown meat is more dangerous for human consumption than the actual animal. So there are, of course, this is the New World Order globalist agenda for 2030, in that they don't want humans to eat that much meat because of the fact that meat, they say, has to be done away with because it's a producer of greenhouse effect carbon dioxide. Of course, the meat only produces about 1.2% of carbon dioxide worldwide, whereas cars and combustion engines are 54%. Now, they don't say anything about doing away with cars that pollute and give us a greenhouse effect. They say do away with the meat. The other thing is that there are some cultures in the world that do eat insects, but they're used to them. The Westerners are not used to eating insects. There are certain cultures, for example, in Japan, that don't like to drink milk, or they don't eat dairy products which have milk because they consider it as being a fluid of the body of the animal, which they don't want to have. But and they also have lactose intolerance. So there are various peoples in the world that have specific diets that they're used to. But the Westerners are not used to an insect diet. Besides the fact that these insects feed on decaying matter, and they have parasites themselves that they can pass on to people, and bacteria. So this I've translated for you from a Greek article. I've listened to the interview, and very interesting that they're trying to push this on to us whether we like it or not, and by the year 2030 it will be obligatory for us to be eating synthetic meat, and insects. We have a lot going on lately, and let's remember we are also in the Shemitah, the 7-year Shemitah cycle that started on the 25th of September. That was the date of the Nord Stream pipeline being sabotaged, and later on we had the Crimea Bridge being sabotaged. We have a terrible situation going on worldwide with economic crises and energy crises. So all of us, please try, if you can, before you go to sleep, say the Lord's Prayer, and say it until you fall asleep, because there are various weird things happening in the world that are not to the benefit of mankind. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.